the Road to the Olympia 2026 series. I'm up a few pounds from the last time I made one of these videos. I think I was around 216, 217, and now I'm closer to 224. I think I woke up today 225. So the weight is on the rise, and so is my performance. We just started the enhanced growth phase, so we'll get into maybe a little bit more of that later on here, but just know that things are progressing, things are moving right now, and training is really starting to get fun. We're gonna be training at Brainiac Gym today, which is the gym that's closer to my house. It's awesome. It's like a 3-minute commute, so we'll be there real quick. You'll see when we get there, but like the setup for Brainiac's actually kind of cool. Each room has its own theme. Today, we're gonna be training legs, so we're gonna be spending a good amount of time in one particular section of the gym, but we might bounce around a little bit because the hack squat that I wanna use is in the main area for this gym. All right, here we go. So this is the facility. We got multiple gyms that are all attached to each other, and then you walk over, there's more gym rooms attached here as well. We'll be in the main room, but we'll also have the leg day section here. I noticed like halfway through that, my hip was coming up on this side, and so my right quad was fatiguing faster than my left. Which just reminds me that like I really gotta focus on cueing down in the hips. It's very easy to assume just because I'm pulling down that both hips are being pulled down at the same time, but that first half of the set I was up more on one side, so I had one leg that was firing harder than the other. So hey,
what's up, brother?
How we doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. How are you?
I'm here ready to suffer through this leg day.
Hey, man, that's what I'm doing right now.
You doing legs too?
Because of how hot it is, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm about to sweat like 5 pounds.
And then you gotta tell me one more time, bro. What was your name?
Jordan.
Jordan.
Yep.
Jordan, that's right. Steve.
Steve.
I got you, man.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
But I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, no, you're good, bro. You're good.
Hey,
I'm forgetful too. There we go. Now that we spent some time pre-exhausting the quads with leg extensions, we're gonna move into our first compound movement, which is gonna be hack squats here in the main room of the gym. Now we get into the meat and potatoes of this leg day. Now this is a quad focused leg day, so we're gonna have a leg press variation and a squat pattern. The hack squat is our squat pattern that we're doing, and then we'll move into the leg press after that. But I really like this hack squat. Not every hack squat is built the same, and so you gotta find one that moves and grooves with you. We're gonna do some warm-up sets here to warm up the knees. I'm gonna throw on some knee sleeves as well, but it's pretty hot in here, so I'm already pretty warm. So we shouldn't need too much to warm up. There we go. This is a really important exercise for quad development because you can fully lengthen the quads and significantly load the quads simultaneously. But you can't do that with a leg extension. You never get to this lengthened position at the bottom. And so that's where a lot of the training stimulus and growth signaling happens, is that loaded, lengthened position, controlling that directional change, making sure we're spending more time in that lengthened position than any other position of the movement. Love this machine. We're taking 2 plate jumps because we're already pretty warm. Come on now. Time to work. Yes, sir. That felt heavier today. That felt heavier today. Oh boy. Effort's what matters. Yes, sir. Now we do the back off set. So the back off sets have the same intensity as the top set, just with less weight. All right, let's see how we do. Yep. Here we go. Keep digging. Go. Come on. Oh, yep. Yeah. Cooked. Absolutely cooked. Now that hack squats are finished, we're gonna be moving out of the main gym back to the leg day area where we're gonna be doing leg press next. This is definitely one of those leg presses that is harder than it looks. When I'm putting on 4 plates, 5 plates, like think of it like 7 or 8. We're keeping this higher rep than we did on the hack squat. Still trying to get to that lengthened position. The idea here is just to remain stable and control the directional change. Might not have the same range of motion as me, but this is how you do a quad dominant leg press. Your foot positioning you want on the mid to lower portion of the platform, and you want a stance that's wide enough so that your legs can clear your rib cage. That way you can get deeper, lower than 90 degrees. And then I just try and bury it as best I can and keep a tight setup here. I'm using the handles, I'm pulling down here, and then just guiding the weight down under control. Finding my end range. There it is. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. And you might say any reps over 14 is cardio. And I would agree with you. But it's the type of cardio that you can grow in. You're still getting within close proximity to failure. And that's what really matters. You can grow in any rep range. Gosh, I'm so winded. This just taxes another energy system. You get a little bit of cardiovascular adaptations from the higher rep sets. So what? It helps you train harder. And you're training those slower twitch muscle fibers that still need to grow and develop as well. It's a really great way to switch it up. Now this last set of leg press, we're gonna be doing an intensifier called rest pause. Rest pause helps us go beyond failure with little bits of rest until we hit our desired rep target. So I'm gonna be doing 25 on this. I expect that I'm gonna need to stop somewhere along the way. And so I'm gonna train as close as I can to failure, rack the weight for anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds. And then I'm gonna get back into it. And I'm gonna keep chipping away until I get to my rep target. So 25 is the goal here. I'm not expecting myself to get all of these in one go. And if you can, you chose a weight that was too light. So you wanna pick a weight you don't think you can actually do all the way through. And you might surprise yourself, but more often than not, that's what makes the rest pause set a rest pause set, is you can't get there in one go. You have to rest, you have to take a second, you have to dig deep, you have to go again, you have to keep pushing in that close proximity to failure. And that's what's tough. Here we go, 25. Yep. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 2. Come on, keep digging. Yeah. 23. 25. That's it. So we ran into some time constraints, so we had to cut the leg day short. So what was supposed to be a quad and calf leg day ended up just being a quad day. So we skipped calves today. I know. I got actually made fun of a lot when I was younger for having small calves. And my calves have come a long way, but I still skip calves sometimes. But hey, do you want big quads or do you want big calves, right? If push comes to shove, which one do you want? I want big quads, so we went with quads today. No one likes to record the unsexy stuff. Being on dad duty, being on mom duty, days like today, I get the gym in early and then I come back and I'm watching Ellie for a majority of the workday while Becca works. And so I try and do work during her nap time, but spending some downtime with Ellie, I mean, it's a fun part of my day. And it's not every day that I get to. So days like today, Monday, I get to spend extra time with her and we get to have fun. Yeah, and I don't get as much work done, but there are other days where I work more. Becca works significantly less. And so while I'm watching Ellie, I'm trying to redeem the time through stretching, doing some foam rolling, changing the channel. I'm not creating extra time to do chores. I'm doing chores while I'm watching Ellie. And that just helps to get more done in the same amount of time. Because I hear a lot of people say that they're really busy all the time. They don't have time to do this. I don't have time to meal prep. It's like, well, I'm gonna be grilling outside while Ellie's playing outside. It's just about being more productive with your time. Should we find your worship song? Ellie has a few worship songs that she really likes. Holy Forever?
No.
Yeah? Is there anything cooler than your kid getting stoked to listen to worship music? I don't think there's anything cooler than that. We spend time worshiping, we spend time doing chores, we spend time meal prepping, we spend time stretching and foam rolling. If this isn't a part of your worship playlist, I would strongly recommend it. No one like the Lord. I think it's Bethel Worship. They put out so many great songs. It's not me-centric worship. It is worship to God. It's worship to Jesus. You can hear it in the lyrics. We crown you Lord of all. Love it, man. It makes me emotional every time I really get into this. And we need that, man. We need that emotional release. Worship music does something special to your heart, man. Like if you let yourself sit and just listen, let the lyrics sink in. Look at all these believers that are worshiping to God. It's beautiful. Giving praise to Him and Him alone. There's no one like the Lord. Sometimes I can't help but sing, but I know I don't have the best voice. All right, and so now we get to the end of the day where Becca gets off of work, my wife, and she'll be watching Ellie for probably the most of the rest of tonight. So the next few hours is just going to be me working. So that's going to be filming content, replying to client messages, giving them training feedback or answering questions. And I might spend some time building out some trainings for the coaching program itself, but also individual resources for when I have conversations with people on Instagram or Facebook. So that's usually what this last few hours of the day will look like. But I wanted to use this last little bit of this episode to talk about what the timeline looks like for qualifying for the 2026 Olympia. I've been in phase 1 of this growth phase for the last 6 months or so. Phase 1 is basically the natural or non-enhanced part of the growth phase, where we're looking to progress within training, beat the logbook, increase food as necessary, maximize our recovery, our sleep, our ability to manage our stress. So all of the fundamental things, but we're doing it without enhancements. So we do that for the first 6 months. And now we're getting to a point where we're transitioning into the enhanced growth phase. So this is where we start incorporating androgens and we start ramping up something called insulin, which just helps raise the ceiling on how well we can process carbohydrates. So the androgens help us to use and synthesize protein more readily. The insulin helps to use carbohydrates more effectively. You create this synergy with the pharmacology of androgen stacking and insulin so that we don't have to abuse anabolics more than necessary to get the desired outcome. So I'm all about getting more out of less. I know that this is a very difficult dynamic here because in the sport of bodybuilding, especially professional bodybuilding, there are things that are inherently not healthy about this sport. And I'm trying to honor God the best way that I can within the sport of professional bodybuilding. And so you'll notice that my anabolic cycles, they are more conservative, and I try and be as efficient as possible, and I try and do my due diligence to be mindful of my health along the way. Now, one thing I want to clarify, I do have a set deadline that's been already premeditated on how long I will be a professional bodybuilder for. I have a set period of time for me to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish in this sport. If I don't accomplish those things in that period of time, that's it. I'm done. And so that gives me a window of time where I can be efficient, productive, do what I think I can accomplish. And after that, I'm moving on. My competitive bodybuilding has an endpoint, and so does my anabolic use. I don't want to be in my mid to late 30s still chasing this. I want to be effective with my time. I want to be responsible with my time. And then I want to move on from competitive bodybuilding. And so I just want to be very real with myself. I am not going to continue to chase this thing at the detriment to my health long term. So this is, I think, very person dependent. It's a very gray area. You have to use your discernment here, because I feel like I'm walking in a gift that God has given me. But at the same time, there's room to abuse the gift by violating the vessel. And so I I don't necessarily know where that line is. But I just know that I have premeditated deadlines so that I get the most out of my time here and I don't compromise my health long term more than necessary. That being said, I am starting this enhanced growth phase right now, which looks like me increasing my testosterone. So leaving the realms of testosterone replacement therapy where I was around 175 milligrams of test per week, and now I'm up to 240. So just slightly above what would be normal TRT ranges. And then I added in 25 milligrams of Anavar daily, which is an oral anabolic. So Anavar is a DHT compound, and DHT compounds are really great for helping to liberate total testosterone. And they do this by reducing something called sex hormone binding globulin. So by reducing sex hormone binding globulin, the body essentially has less binding proteins that render testosterone unusable. So that DHT compound liberates or frees that testosterone to be used. So now I'm increasing my total testosterone because I'm dosing it higher, but I'm also adding in an androgen that helps liberate more of that testosterone to be used. So I'm getting much more out of less total testosterone. So you can see here how I'm using the synergy of these compounds to get away with using less while still getting a higher reward. And anybody who's been in the bodybuilding space knows that Anavar is one of the milder compounds. It's probably one of the mildest compounds. Now, testosterone as well. It's the bioidentical hormone. This testosterone I get through a hormone clinic. I don't use some underground source for testosterone. And so, again, I'm just trying to do things very responsibly. I'm getting my blood work done, but I want to be transparent and honest with you with what I'm doing. So when we look at the enhanced growth cycle, right now, test an Anavar cycle. The total androgen milligram amount per week, it's around about 400 milligrams between the testosterone and the Anavar. And I'm using that alongside insulin in a couple of my meals. Do not take this as prescription. Do not copy this. This is for entertainment purposes. This is not advice that I'm giving you right now. And so hopefully you respect my honesty and my transparency, but please do not abuse this information. Just to recap, the enhanced growth phase will be the next 4 months, and then I'll transition into a 4 to 5 month health phase. And during that health phase, I'm going to be focused on improving my gut health, which will lower my inflammation. It will make me more insulin sensitive. Oftentimes I lower carbohydrates quite a bit to improve my gut health. And as well, I'm adding in additional health supplements to improve my blood work and make sure I'm addressing any gut problems that I have. So if I have bacterial overgrowth, which is a very common thing, especially when you're in a prolonged growth period, you're really ingesting a lot of food. And so naturally, it's very common to have overgrown bacteria in the gut. So going through a phase where we're depleting some of that overgrown bacteria, killing off some of that to help reduce inflammation, to reduce food sensitivities, this will really help set me up for success when it comes to the contest prep phase. So that health phase will be about 4 to 5 months long, so basically just as long as the enhanced growth phase is. And then from there, that puts us right around mid-February, which is when contest prep would likely be starting. And then contest prep will go about 5 to 6 months leading up to the Olympia. This year, the cutoff time for the Olympia qualification is September 13th, if I'm not mistaken. And so I imagine next year it's going to be something similar to that. So the goal is to try and compete in a show within like 4 weeks of that cutoff period. And I'd like to do 2 shows. So that just gives me better odds at being able to win one of those shows to be able to qualify and roll right into the Olympia, which would probably be in October if I had to guess, but that's the tentative game plan for right now. Regardless, I'm going to the Olympia. I've been a spectator. I've also been a competitor at the Olympia already. Being a competitor is way cooler. And I'm trying to place this time because the last time I competed at the Olympia, I didn't place. It's not enough to just go to the Olympia and spectate. I'm going there to place. That's the mission for the road to the 2026 Olympia. And so I hope you're along for the ride. Thank you for watching episode 3. There's going to be several more episodes rolling out here. I'll probably try and do one of these every like 5 to 6 weeks so that you stay up to date on the progress. In the meantime, I'll continue to post and you'll see me on Instagram, Facebook. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe if you are not subscribed already, and I will see you in the next video.